We are the Traveling Three. As an adventure-loving family of three, we've stepped away from the familiar cadence of daily life to travel the world and embrace the unknown. We've spent the last 2 months in Turkey, and now it's time to move on. Last week, we experienced the chill island vibes of Castellorizo, and today we're going to encounter a different Greek island with its own unique flavor.
Look at this view.
Welcome to Rhodes, the largest of the Dodecanese islands. We're only here for a short time, so we're going to explore as much as we can of this beautiful Greek island. And do our very best to make every moment count.
You never quite know what you're gonna get, even while it's happening.
Let's go.
Hey guys, we just arrived in Rhodes. This is a beautiful island known for its ancient history, medieval castles, and natural beauty.
Our Airbnb is in the perfect location, so first we're going to explore the surrounding area. The Acropolis of Rhodes is only a 7-minute walk from where we were staying, so that's where we're going to start. An Acropolis is a fortified ancient Greek hilltop that typically housed temples and other significant structures and served as the heart of a city-state.
You can really tell that this is the Acropolis. It's right at the top of the hill, and you have a beautiful panoramic view all the way to the Mediterranean Sea.
The Acropolis of Rhodes contains several ancient structures, including a small theater, gymnasium, and the ancient Stadium of Rhodes, which was used for athletic events.
Oh wow, this is actually the first stadium we've seen that's put together, that's not fallen apart in ruins.
Just as a side note, it's free to get in here. So if you're on a day trip and you have time, then it's totally worth it.
Other interesting structures include the temples of Athena, Zeus, and Apollo. There's also an ancient Greek library, but unfortunately the extent of excavation is still limited and much of it remains undiscovered.
This place really is in ruins, and it is about 2,000 years old, which totally makes sense. It's also gone through earthquakes and bombings during World War II. We're actually standing in what was once the temple dedicated to Apollo, a Greek god, and they are rebuilding it and restoring the ruins here. Well, we just crossed the street from the Acropolis, and look at this view. This is incredible.
Don't just go to the Acropolis, head up to the top of the hill and check out the views of the beaches and the towns on the other side. It's gorgeous. And off in the distance, I don't know if you could see it, but you could also see the Turkish mainland. So that's pretty cool.
There's a beach down over there. It's called Elli Beach, and that's where we're headed now. We're walking along the road, and it is just so beautiful, lined with palm trees. It's gonna be a great walk. I think it takes about 30 minutes from where we are right now. So let's get going.
Elli Beach is one of the most popular beaches on Rhodes because it's easily accessible, offers stunning views of the Aegean Sea and neighboring Turkish mountains, and offers many convenient amenities such as restaurants and water sports facilities.
We've arrived to Elli Beach, and this is not disappointing. Oh my goodness, this place is beautiful. What an incredible view. And the water is perfectly crystal clear. The waves are not very big, there's a gentle breeze, and we are ready to soak in the sun.
Overall, Elli Beach combines natural beauty, convenience, and recreational options, making it a top choice for beachgoers. We thoroughly enjoyed relaxing here for the rest of the afternoon. Today we're visiting the Grand Master's Castle in the old town of Rhodes, and we actually learned something very interesting. The structure that stands here today is not medieval.
In the mid-1850s, there was a giant explosion from an ammunition depot which destroyed the palace and a lot of the old city apparently, and killed about 900 people. And so most of what we're going to see today was actually built in the early 1900s. One thing we've noticed is that this place is very, very touristy. If you come when the cruise ships come in or in the middle of the day, people hassle you quite a bit. So we're a little bit disappointed by that.
So that's why we decided to come here earlier in the morning. There's far fewer people and not really anybody hassling us this morning, and we get to actually enjoy the architecture and just strolling through the old streets. The Palace of the Grand Master of the Knights of Rhodes was originally built in the 7th century as a Byzantine citadel. It's believed that it was constructed on the site where the temple of the ancient Greek sun god Helios once stood. In medieval times, it was transformed into a fortress. In 1856, an adjacent gunpowder warehouse was struck by lightning, resulting in a massive explosion that destroyed a significant portion of the castle and surrounding buildings, including residential homes and the Church of St. John. During Italian rule in the 1930s, remaining Ottoman-era structures were demolished and the palace was reconstructed as a holiday residence for the Italian king and later Benito Mussolini. The castle was amazing. We originally were not even going to go in there, but Aaliyah thankfully convinced us. It was only €8 per person, and they let you explore so much of it. It was really big, just fascinating history, and we really enjoyed it.
Yeah, don't skip out on the castle. Absolutely beautiful. And they don't open just a small part of it, they open a lot of it, and it's definitely worth it, 100%.
There's also a waterfront area that you can walk around, and the walls that surround the city are actually original stone from medieval times.
It's definitely worth taking time to get out of the city as well and go to the harbor. We highly recommend getting here early because the tour boats come in from the mainland of Turkey and other islands, and it quickly gets busy. We noticed that there was a constant stream of new people coming into the city after about 10, 11, 12 o'clock. So definitely come early. You'll have a much more enjoyable experience.
Even if you do end up staying here as it gets busy, you can get away from the crowds by going down alleyways. There are so many of them.
A lot of these alleyways are quite unique and very beautiful, very peaceful. So don't stick to the main tourist areas with all the shops and everything, but take a little extra time and go down some of these alleyways because they are quite spectacular to see.
We visited the Old Town twice during our 7-day stay in Rhodes and enjoyed it most in the morning around 9 a.m. If you're on a budget, we recommend eating outside of the Old Town because restaurants within the Old Town are pricey. You'll also find many souvenir shops within the Old Town, but most of the items sold here are not unique, handcrafted, or local and are quite expensive, so we didn't buy anything here. If you're a history buff or simply enjoy ancient architecture, the Palace of the Knights of Rhodes is one you can't miss.
Good morning, everyone. It is 8 o'clock and we are ready to go for the day. So far, we've explored Elli Beach, the Acropolis of Rhodes, and the Old Town of Rhodes. They've all been wonderful, and today we are renting a car.
We're going to be going down the south side of the island and hitting a couple of beaches along the way and ending in Lindos.
What are your first thoughts of driving on this island?
I think once we get out of the city, it'll be fine, but man, there is a lot of one-way roads that go random directions. And also there's construction, so you can't even trust Google Maps. It's a little bit stressful in the city, but once you get out of the city, I think it's gonna be pretty easy to drive.
Our first stop is at Faliraki Beach. It was recommended to us by our Airbnb hosts, and I can see why. It's a very large sand beach. The water is perfect here, and we're just gonna plop down and relax here for a little while and then move on.
The water's perfectly clear. It's a beautiful sandy beach. All the other beaches that we've been to have been pretty rocky or pebbly, but not this beach. And it is big, very, very beautiful. So if you happen to find yourself on this side of the island, it's definitely worth a stop.
Faliraki Beach is one of Rhodes' longest and most organized golden sand beaches. It's clean, very well maintained, and stretches approximately 5 kilometers along the coast. There's plenty of room as well as cafes, restaurants, and resorts to enjoy. We only spent a short time here because our itinerary included other interesting places.
The beach was very nice. It's a beautiful beach. The area around it, however, is very touristy, like really, really touristy. They had even it was a car that looked like a train that takes people down the road to the beach. Yeah, that's really not our style. So if you happen to be in this area and you like touristy stuff, this would be a great place for you. If you don't like touristy stuff, the beach itself still is really nice.
Let's skip the town.
Yes. We're now on the way to Butterfly Valley. We're gonna stop and have breakfast. We're hoping to find a place that's more off the beaten path. So we'll see. We got to this very nice little village. It's super quiet and chill up here. And now we're trying to find breakfast. There are several restaurants here that are open. However, they're only open for drinks. It's almost 10:30 in the morning and they're still not open for food.
I love these little travel experiences because you never quite know what you're gonna get, even while it's happening. I find that a lot of fun just to explore and wander around and see what happens.
We were just walking around the village trying to find some breakfast, and we happened upon this little hole-in-the-wall bakery. This cute little elderly lady sitting in there, and she motioned us to come in, as Greek people often do here. We weren't actually sure if we wanted to stay here. We wanted to see a menu, but anyway, she convinced us to sit down, so we just sat down. We asked if there's breakfast. She said yes. There was no menu. I have no idea how much things cost. And she just came out with a platter of baked goods.
Just as part of the fun of traveling, you just never know what you're going to get sometimes. Do take it as it comes.
Sorry, espresso, micro y megalo. Megalo.
I love how you have to use charades when you go to a different country and people don't speak English. It's fun. She's asking about our Airbnb. I think we're somewhere up here, right?
Here. Right at the very end.
Around here. Yeah. Yeah, around here. Yeah.
Primeri. Έξω, για να δει.
I don't. Here, hold on. Okay, you speak.
Τι όνομα είναι το ξενοδοχείο?
What is the name of the hotel? Oh. It's not a hotel, it's an Airbnb. We are staying in an apartment.
Δεν είναι ξενοδοχείο, είναι ένα room. Για μέρες.
We relish the quiet and hospitable atmosphere of Psinthos village, and our immense gratitude goes to Google Translate, which has been our handy translator in most of the countries we've visited so far.
So we just arrived here at Butterfly Valley. Unfortunately, they said there's not a lot of butterflies this time of year, but it is about 1 kilometer up of a hike along this beautiful little stream. So we're pretty excited to do it.
A plethora of Jersey tiger butterflies swarm this verdant valley, usually starting at the end of June until September. If you come during these summer months, you may find your visit worth the trip. This may be an unpopular opinion, but we felt the site is overrated, at least out of season, because it's a 45-minute drive from the old town and it was just a regular mountain hike without any exceptional viewpoints and nothing else in the immediate area.
This is a really beautiful walk. What's interesting is that on our way up, there was a huge lineup, like so many people. We were going slow as snails. But now that we're coming back down, there's nobody here. At first, I was not going to suggest doing this because I thought that it's just super crowded, but now that there's less people, it's very peaceful.
So overall, I would say it's worth coming to this place. Anita says skip it because of the crowds. The thing about Rhodes is the whole island is pretty darn touristy, and so you just have to expect to see a lot of people everywhere. That's what I've come to find out. So I guess if you're looking to get a more peaceful experience in any of the popular places around here, you have to come early. We rented a car at 8 o'clock and we were up here by 10 because we did stop for breakfast. And still there were quite a few people here. Maybe rent a car for a couple of days and come early. That would be the only way you're gonna get a more peaceful experience, because other than that, it's pretty darn crowded wherever you go.
Also, here's a pro tip. If you plan to travel longer distances, make sure you rent a car because a single taxi trip will cost you the same or more than renting a car for one day. On our way to Lindos, we stopped by a highly rated restaurant just outside Psinthos village and were once again met with welcoming Greek hospitality, and wait till you see our meals.
Third espresso of the day. We got feta honey as an appetizer, and I am so excited to try this. It looks delicious. He said it's cooked with a phyllo pastry on top, and then it's baked, and then they put honey on top of it.
It's okay?
Very, very good.
Very good. Thank you.
Wow, the feta, the
Yeah.
warm feta with that honey.
Yeah.
Oh my goodness, this honey is delicious. It has that nice, rich honey flavor. That is so good.
I really like the crunchy outside and the gooey inside, and the sweetness mixed with the saltiness. It is absolutely wonderful.
We both ended up getting chicken souvlaki and joyfully savored every single bite of this authentic Greek cuisine. Also, the meals were large enough that we were easily able to share with Elia.
Isn't it good?
Oh my goodness, it's so refreshing. Oh man, I love Greek food. I love Greek food so much.
So do I.
I am so happy right now.
He brought out a free drink for Aaliyah, and then also at the very end, he surprised all of us with some ice cream for dessert. So if you happen to go to Butterfly Valley, stop by this restaurant. We'll put the link in the description below, It is definitely worth a stop for lunch.
The final stop on our trip for the day was the picturesque Greek village of Lindos. This beautiful place is known for its whitewashed buildings and soft sand golden beaches. It's also home to the Acropolis of Lindos, where you'll find the medieval castle of Lindos and ruins of ancient Greek temples. At this point, we were too hot and tired to climb up the hill to the castle. It's much bigger in real life than on screen, so sadly we didn't visit it.
We're here at Lindos Beach, and my gosh, this place is incredible. Check this place out. Beautiful clear water, just like all the other water around this island. Nice sandy beach. Look at all the sailboats out here.
I love that you can actually walk on sand and you don't need water shoes because it's just soft and comfortable. We haven't had that in a while, so I love that.
This is an epically beautiful beach with the whitewashed buildings above us and the castle up on the hill. It's pretty magical here.
Yeah.
Gorgeous. You definitely have to come to this beach.
I can see why there's so many people and it's so popular because it really is nice.
Yeah. There's actually 2 different beaches. Make sure not to miss out on the smaller one. It has just as good sand and just as good of a beach, but is definitely less crowded. So you could either walk through it through the water like we are right now, or there's a cement path that you could go up and over. And there's also these little beaches along the way that are perfect for if you're tired of the hot sun and want an epic view. We had a great time going to Butterfly Valley and to Lindos and a few other beaches along the way. The Greek hospitality has been amazing. We've really enjoyed our time here, and we are taking off to our next destination tomorrow.
I just want to take a second to say that we really appreciate you tuning in and watching all the way through. If you enjoyed this video, please give it a like and subscribe to our channel to see more of this beautiful world through our lens. We have some really exciting stuff planned for next week and are so excited to take you along with us.